Hi guys, Lindsay. So as you can see, I have a solar charge controller there, and I am actually doing this video because I've been getting a lot of messages, comments, as well as email. So just to give you a breakdown of how to set up your solar charge controller. Well, this one is for small application. I am going to show you exactly how to do this. So first, you need to run wires from your battery. As you can see, I have these two batteries linked together on 12 volts, so it's negative to negative here with this black wire here, and positive to positive over here. So the first wire in which we are going to connect to this charge controller is the positive, and then we are going to connect the negative. So the positive goes here, where you see the plus, the positive goes here, and the negative. So this is the first wire we are going to connect. Normally the positive wire is normally red, so I just use this green wire, but normally we use red, to signify the positive, and black for the negative. So I am going to go ahead and hook this up. So this is the negative, and this is going into the negative connection here. As you can see that the charge controller is on. So as you can see, the charge controller is on. Our battery is very low, they are depleted, and we need to charge our battery. So this is how you connect this to your battery. You follow the same format for your panel as well, and if you look, we have the negative and positive here. Negative white, positive green. You will see the plus and minus there. So most persons question about the setting, how to set up the parameters of the solar charge controller, and this can also go for these type of controllers. The concept is the same for all solar charge controllers. So I am going to show you the best setting to set your charge controller at, and I am going to also teach you something new as well. So guys, to get into the settings, right, so we need to hold on the button and we can switch. So we can switch. You can also see the amps that is coming through the battery, and also the AH from the panel, which is the amp hours. So let me go. This is our float voltage. So this is the highest power that is coming from our panel that we can set our charge controller to. Also, this is our load. 12.6 is when our battery recharge to 12.6, the load will be active, which is this connection right here. This will be active when our battery recharge to this level. We can change this level, but it is recommended that we allow our battery to charge up for a certain period of time to build back up the cell full of charge. So we choose 12.6, which is above 50% thereabout. So it's very important to protect your battery as well, as there are certain batteries with life cycle. So if you drain your battery often, it can kill your battery eventually. We have the load off. The load off is set at 11.0. This is when the load will go off when our battery is getting low. It will drain our battery completely. So is 11. We can bring this up. I recommend that you set this about 12.2 at least. Set your load about 12 voltage or so, 12.2 that is pretty good. We need to protect our battery, so we will have about a 10% charge remaining in our battery, but it is very important to keep your battery above 50% at least for long life, especially for those deep cycle battery AGM batteries, so we can keep our load off at 12.2. so this is a good setting that you can follow as well. Keep the float at about 14.2, 14.4. You can keep the load on around this as well, about 12.6 when it will come back on, and the load off about 12.2. so these are parameters that you can choose as well for yourself. You can play with them as well. You can see which best will suit you, and our load will be on for 24 hours as well. You can change this to 12 hours if you so desire. And our voltage is low. As you can see, the current voltage is 11.9 volts on our battery, so we need to charge our battery here in this case. So I am really doing this video to help those of you out in other cases where you will not be using the load, because most persons use the current coming from the battery instead of the load. The current that the load provided here is minimal, and sometimes we need more energy from the battery. So what we do, we link an inverter directly to the battery. And someone was asking me about an inline fuse. So I have a bracket here, I have a fuse holder here. These are very useful and very essential in these applications. And with this one, I would not recommend putting this one in the inline fuse coming from the panel to the battery. I will recommend a smaller one, and also with a smaller amps as well. As you can see, this fuse holder can hold up to 100 amps plus, I believe, in terms of the fuse. So between your battery and inverter, I recommend you use one of these. It will be on the positive line, so I recommend that you use one of these, as well as the fuse. You can buy the desirable fuse for your application. As you can see, I currently have 40 amps and it is a AGU fuse. So if any problem with your system, you know that your battery will be protected between the linkage from the inverter to your battery. Your batteries will be protected as well as your inverter. And if it happens that it bypass your inverter, or you have some sort of overload, the fuse is there to protect the system. So as you have seen in different diagrams on the internet, there are a fuse that you can use, inline fuse, that you can use from your battery to the inverter. This one I recommend, the fuse holder. And also there are inline fuse that you can use as well from the panel to the battery in this positive line. And also you can use breaker as well. There are some breaker that you don't have to be replacing any fuse. There are breaker that you can use inline. So if anything happens, it will just flip the switch and you just flip it back. So I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that this gave those who did not understand from my previous videos, and those who have further questioning in trying to figure out these solar charge controller parameters, how to set them up, how to use them, and also how they are being run. So that's how you can set these up. Bear in mind again that in the solar panel wires, at the top, at the back, there are some fuses as well that normally be in the panel fitting, and those as well protect our panel as well from damaging completely. But as well, if you so desire, you can use a breaker fuse as well with between your panel and the solar charge controller. Hey guys, my name is Lens, and if this was useful, I will recommend you subscribing to my channel, hit the bell icon, and also sound off in the comment section. And I hope that this one will help you out in you setting up your small solar panel project for your backup purposes, for whatever purposes you are doing this. I hope that this was helpful.